Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Dylan Neighbor Cruz, the tattooed theologian here. And empathy has been a hot topic of late. Lots of conservative Christians are saying that empathy is toxic. And I think that the reason that they're saying that is because they don't really like the teachings of Jesus and they like their conservative culture war stuff a lot more. And why do I say that? Because Jesus in Matthew 7:12 says that in everything you do, do unto others as you would have them do to you. This is the law and the prophets. In other words, the entirety of Jesus's Bible, the only Bible that existed at the time, was summed up in the Golden Rule. And you can't follow that without having empathy. Because the Golden Rule says that you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Jesus also taught the love of neighbor. In Matthew's version, we don't get the parable of the Good Samaritan, but he does say, love God, love your neighbor. This is the whole thing, right? But in Luke's version, we get the parable of the Good Samaritan where the lawyer says, so who's my neighbor? Trying to be tricky with Jesus. And Jesus is like, all right, my dude, we're going to flip this on its head. And I'm going to use a Samaritan as the example of who's the neighbor. And why did Jesus do that? Because Samaritans were often reviled by the people who would listen to Jesus's message, by the Jews, the Israelites. They had different ways, the Samaritans and the Jews had different ways of seeing God, and so there was friction there. But Jesus, as he so often did in his parables, turned things on their head by using the Samaritan as the hero of the parable. i.e., you have to have empathy. The Samaritan had empathy and compassion as he walked down that road and saw the person who had been beaten by bandits and left to die. Empathy, compassion, and love are literally the core teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. It doesn't matter what you believe about him, whether he was the only begotten Son or whether he was, divine or human or both or any of those things. The words on the page say this. And so empathy is a core Christian value. So if